What's going on? It's Dwayne, that epoxy guy. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a few tips to go ahead and take up paint or epoxy up off the floor. All right. First thing we're doing is we're coming in. We're gonna do a scratch test on this concrete. All right. We're gonna see the hardness of it. See if it's testing out with anywhere between 1 and 9. This floor tested out at 8, so that's some very hard concrete. All right. My next step after that is choosing a soft bond diamond. All right. So if this concrete tests out hard, you want to go with a softer blades on it. All right, if it was soft concrete, you want to go harder blades on it. That's how it pretty much lays out. All right, the next thing is, once we laid that on and we're getting started, my first cut is pretty much just getting a paste down correct. Just gonna see what's gonna be successful to where we're getting up all of the old, pretty much sticky film, oil, and of course the paint or epoxy that may be on the floor. Okay, so we're just paying attention to how the speed is of the blades versus what's going on with the floor. All right, next thing we're going ahead and doing as we get that cut, you don't never particular want to go with a full coverage of your grinding wheels. All right, so we try to always cover about 50% of it on each pass. So half of it on the clean concrete, half of it on the knot. All right, so the reason being is, for one, it won't bog your machine down. You want those blades to spin at their maximum rotation as they're designed to where you can get the full amount of coverage ratio on it. And it's going to take up much as it can, believe it or not, rather than cover the whole thing up. A lot of people get it confused. They say, well, I'm going to cover more area. It's going to take twice as long. Listen, you're not in this for speed, all right? This is the most important part of the project. Your floor will not look right if the prep doesn't come along with it, all right? You got to sharpen that axe, man, 75% when it comes down to it. And 25% going to actually be chopping the tree, right? So that's what we pretty much concentrate on when we're doing our floors. All right, as we go, of course, you guys see the next step is, I'm not sure if you paid attention to the blue line, that's our vac line. We make sure we try to keep dust to a minimum, of course, for our own safety, and also for our customers as well. You don't want to have dust all over the walls and pretty much covering up everything. That's going to be a whole nother project by itself. You'll be losing money by having to get a cleaning crew to come out there to get the dust from everywhere, right? So that's my next tip, is to go ahead and make sure you have the correct vacuum. If not, you can make this job very unsightly, very dusty, and you won't look like a professional. Even if you're a DIYer pretty much watching this, I know sometimes the vacuum that actually would get it up would be tough to get, but just take the time out. So that's a few quick tips about getting up an old epoxy floor. Satisfied customer, they love it. It's us at 334 Epoxy. Y'all have a good one.